Hi guys, welcome back. Welcome to my channel. It has been a crazy week. First of all, thank you guys so much for taking a minute and looking at my latest YouTube video with the Bronze Goddess. I really appreciate the love and the support that I'm getting starting this YouTube journey. I had posted a picture on my Instagram probably a couple days ago, and it was pretty much just my summer foundation routine, and I got a bunch of messages saying, please show us the summer routine. If you guys have ever, oh, I have like lone hair. What is, hold on. Okay, that would have bothered me. It's attacking me again. Anyway, so I pretty much got all these messages saying, please show your summer foundation routine. It's a little different than I usually do in the winter because I am going for more of that glow. But right now, because it is so hot in Texas, I am really blotchy. I'm really red. It's probably because all I'm doing is constantly sweating. But you know, a girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do. So I wanted to kind of go through my summer routine and also preview. I talked about also on my Facebook, and if you watch my Facebook Live posts, I have kind of went through my foundation routine. I've changed it up just a little bit already because I got new brushes in the mail. For a while now, all I've wanted, or if you guys have ever saw the Artis brushes, they look like a spoon, like this. I, of course, would love to have the funds enough to afford an Artis brush set, but unfortunately they're about $300 to $400, and when you have a child that's going to school, that's just something that you're never going to have for a while. So I decided to start looking after my birthday. I have great family and friends that sent me some Amazon money, and I was like, okay, I'm going to try to find a dupe for these. I have been seeing them a ton on YouTube. The buffing I'm really interested in, and so I searched and searched, and on actually Prime Day they had a deal that was for a lot of these sets. So I looked through a lot of the reviews, and for the amount of money that they were charging for this Kate Beauty Tool set, and also with the 10 pieces that I got, I also got a free beauty blender. I'm not really sure about it. It's actually, when I opened it up, I was really excited because it was not hard. The harder the beauty blender is, the more I just don't think they work. They more rub off your skin than anything. So that gets really huge. And when I say huge, like my Real Technique sponge is a pretty big sponge, but once it gets wet, it doesn't get that much bigger than it is. This one is gargantuan, and when I'm like blotting on my face, I just feel like I have like this inner tube like going So I have been playing around, and that's why I wanted to wait a couple weeks to make sure how I could do this, because there is no guide. These are called Kate Beauty Tools. They're the plastic ones. They were $14.99 when I bought them. There is no guide. They come in a bag, and you pray to God that none of them get messed up. The only one that I had messed up was this one here. I don't know if you can tell, but there's like a crease in it. It's $15. I'm just gonna have to learn to get over it, but all the rest of them were in really good shape. I was actually really happy. I was nervous that one of the plastics would melt. It's hot, so that's what I was nervous about. But I've been playing around with it, and I've kind of came up with a new way. A lot of the times, I will tell you that my go-to right now is the Beauty Blender. One, for the reason of it's so hot in Texas. When I use my Beauty Blender to put on my foundation, it keeps my skin cool. I don't know if it's because it's damp, it's hydrating me. I feel like it does not come off as easily, and obviously it blends. So I had a couple of tips from some of my favorite YouTubers that I tried out this week, where they do use their real Artis brushes, and since they're synthetic, if you have a synthetic brush and then go over it with your beauty blender, it spreads out whatever that you didn't buff and still gives you that cooling feeling. So I started doing that this week, and I actually think it works. So really happy that things work, but that's why, you know, they have like 3 million subscribers, me being one of them. So all in all, for $15, I say if you want to try this out, do it. The only downfall I will tell you is because they're plastics, they're bendy. The Artis brushes are not plastic, so a lot of the times when I am doing my makeup, I am really putting my thumb on the neck because I'm afraid I'm gonna just pop these boogers off. And honestly, if it happens, then I'll just do this. It won't be the end of the world. Now for the smaller brushes it will, but I'm not like sitting here with the smaller brushes. So this is kind of my go-to summer routine. I'm sure I'll film another one that's going to be completely different because our skin changes, the elements change, you kind of adapt, and when you are into makeup, that's what you want to do. So let's get started. I will say, if you watch my Facebook Live, like I said before, I've done a foundation, I've done a full look, but I did not do my cream contour, which right now I have been doing a go-to as because when I lived in Missouri, I did more just powder contouring because it's not hot as balls. I mean, it's hot, but it's not hot as balls. So, literally, I don't know, you know what that means, hot as balls, because I mean, some balls are cold. I don't know, but it's hot as balls. So, I decided that I'm going to switch more to cream contouring, which I have been doing for over, I'm going to say the past 2 months once it's really gotten ridiculous out here. Another thing that I do use as well is a Urban Decay spray. I had a travel size one because my big one, the top exploded, so I'm out of my travel size one, but it pretty much blocks your pores. I will say I use that on all my clients for any special things, but it breaks me out almost immediately after I wash it off because it blocks my pores all day. So I've been trying to stay away from that, just using a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So I'll kind of show you what's been working for me right now. I will say I went swimming for an hour with Schuler the other day and I got burnt. You can tell here. Yeah. This was a sunscreen. What? I don't even understand. It's like little aliens were on my skin, but I did get burnt. So I'm a little red, but the very first thing that I did before I started this, washed my face, did my egg white soap mask, set it for 5 minutes, and then I did go ahead and moisturize. You always want to moisturize your skin. If you don't moisturize it, first of all, it helps with wrinkles. Let's get real. But because my skin's sensitive, I do the oil-free acne moisturizer by Neutrogena. It leaves a really nice area for me to build upon, and the more moisturized your skin is, the better palette you have to go on further with your makeup through the day. It lasts a little more. But the second thing I do after I let it stay, I let it dry for about 10 to 15 minutes because I don't want to immediately put on foundation because the moisturizer is not in your pores. So the next thing you do is prime. I used to not be a primer. I thought they were just another thing that you bought at Sephora that cost you $30 to $40. I never saw the difference. But now that I'm in my 30s, I have, or honestly, I think primers have like, guess what? It's time for us to show what we're made of. And they have stepped up their game. And I've tried the Smashbox one, which they are great. They are $50 a bottle. And with primers, you don't get a lot. I've tried e.l.f. I enjoy some of those, which I'll kind of go through. I'm going to do kind of a review of products soon of what I've really loved this summer and what I've not. So stay tuned for that. But one of the big things is the benefits. They have an amazing line, period. And like I said before, I'm really trying to do these for people that can't afford a ton of splurges, but when you do splurge for the right things, I found the dupe for the Benefit Pore, pretty much get rid of your pores, and it's the Maybelline Baby Skin. It's an instant pore eraser. All you need is just a little bit on your finger. I don't need a ton. It's $5 at Walmart. Drop the cap. We're just gonna leave it at that. And then all I'm doing is putting it in my T-zone. I am so red. So I, like I said, have been really all about priming. All about that prime, I'm so red. I just heard Schuler growl. Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna rub that into our skin. I've been having a lot of problems around my nose lately. So we're really gonna get in there. All right, so the next thing that, if anybody watches me, you know that I'm all about color correcting. I think that a lot of people who say that they have problems, it's not so much their foundation, it's because you need to color correct. I use the NYX palette a lot during the day, but one of the things I've talked about on my Facebook Live channel is Makeup Revolution. They have an online site, or they're at Ulta exclusively. This is pretty much, it's from London. They make makeup that is affordable, but also really, really great for professional makeup artists, which I think everyone's doing. They have a color correcting palette right here. They have actually cool shades. This is a white shimmer that I've been using lately to give me that little, and it's been really nice. So they have everything from the purples to the pinks to the browns. I'm going to do a more in-depth about what you need, what you don't, but more than anything, I'm red. Red means I need green. So you can use your NYX palette. LA Pro Concealer has just a green one that I have as well. So what I'm going to do is go into green, that bad boy right there. Whoa. And I'm going to take one of my fake Artis, my Katy Beauty tools. It's like a smaller one. And I'm going to start filling those areas where I'm really red. I will say one of these things that I absolutely love about these brushes is they do blend really well. And one of the things that I tell you is if you are going to use your finger, a lot of times your finger is the best tool for applying makeup. It's just how it is. But you have to always wash your hands. You're going to have bacteria on your hands. I've really had problems with acne all my life, so I do everything that I can. So this is definitely lessening the touching of the face, because a lot of times I would still blend this in my finger because I don't want to show through my foundation. I'm really red because I got burnt. But yeah, green is for redness. Now, I've had a couple of rough nights at work, so I do have the under eye going on. I'm just going to take that same brush, kind of wiped it off, and I'm going to go into the peachy color for lighter skin tones. If you're going to cover the more darkness, you want to go more peach and pink. So I'm going to grab that peachy color and put it underneath my eye. I will look like a clown for legitimately 5 minutes. Everyone take a break. It's fine. I'm your father. Remember with the green too, a lot of our hormones as women, your nose gets red throughout the day. That will be the first place you're going to get red. So really make sure that you're covering that. And I have acne scars. Now that I have my new light, boom, y'all can see that I am still suffering from trying to get my skin under control. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is going to do a little brightening. Purple is great for dullness, so I always take that and go around this area. And then lately I've been going around my little laugh lines. Now, this is the only one that I have seen in Makeup Revolution's kit. This was $10, by the way, at Ulta. $10. So this white, creamy, it's almost iridescently. I'm going to put in those highlighting spots right there on my Q's, though. A little lip at the bottom of my nose. Okay, so you can use your finger, you can use a foundation brush, you can use a concealer brush, but because lately I have been trying to figure out these Katy Beauty tools, they have 5 face brushes and 5 eye brushes is what I'm pretty much, they're smaller. So I'm taking the small, there is no numbers, they're $15, people. But as you can see, they're really dense, they're very soft. So I'm gonna use the smallest one and I'm gonna start buffing this into the skin. If you, also another tip as well, if you are having trouble with wanting that glow but don't want to use a ton of priming, get a beauty oil. I have been trying to get Versailles Rose Gold Elixir. It's been just every time I go on, it's out. It's pricey. It's like $50, but like I said, when you want to splurge on the right things. It's good for all skin oily combination. It just gives you that extra nourishment. And we're just blending all the color correcting in. And a little bit of highlighting. Most of the foundation work is always in the very beginning when you're concealing. I literally cover my face. I'm usually not that heavy-handed on color correcting. It's just on my acne scars that I have, but I got really patchy burnt because we did not realize we were going swimming. I still had makeup on, so I wiped off as much as I could. So I'm just red. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is foundation. Okay, so right now I'm a combination skin, so L'Oreal has been my go-to for a couple of months. And so what I do is I take the L'Oreal Paris Pro Glow, because I still want that glowy look because it's still summer, and the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte. I mix them together. I am shade right now 204 Natural Buff and L'Oreal Paris Pro Glow. And you think I'd be the same color because it's like the same products, but I'm not. And I am 102 in Shell Beige. It's probably going to be just a tad bit light because I am burnt, but I just take the back of my hand, put a little bit goes a long way with this. A little bit of the Pro Glow. I will say the Pro Glow really works even if you're oily. But if you're way oily, always kind to try to stay with the matte. Like I said, you can add in your own glow. My go-to is the Magic Lumi. Put a little drop in there, but I wanted to show you guys, I told you that e.l.f. has a highlighting cream as well. These are $1. This one is pretty much my favorite shade because it's the dupe for my MAC. This is Pink Rebel. This is their Luster Drops. This is 20 bucks. This is $1. They look pretty similar because they are. So today, because I don't want to really lighten, I'm going to take the Lilac.
I thought it's sky gray.
That's awesome. It's okay. I'm filming, baby. That's my son. Okay, so you're going to just take the cap off and you're going to put it. Schuler, I need you to go, baby. I'll be there in just a second. Just sit on my bed. Okay. I'm just going to put a nice little healthy dollop in there and I'm going to mix those together. So not everyone are going to have these brushes. That's fine. I use a buffing brush from Real Techniques or from my BH Cosmetics. You can do the same thing. Or like I've been doing lately, I've been just using my Beauty Blender. But I wanted to kind of show you in case you guys wanted to go on Amazon and get these. I mean, they're I'm pretty sure yesterday they were $15.99. So shipping wasn't bad. They were like $3, but I'm sure everyone in the world is Prime but me. Okay, so I'm gonna put that all around my face. The biggest one right here. So like I said before, I put my thumb on the inside of the groove and I put my 2 fingers here, and now you're gonna just start buffing that into the skin. It's so soft. I mean, I was very nervous that for how cheap these were, that they were gonna be bad. But you know what? That's the risk you take. Really watch reviews on makeup brushes. People want to not spend a ton on makeup brushes, so they're going to be very honest if something is not working. If you want to just use a Beauty Blender, go right ahead. It's been my go-to lately, but because I've been trying out these brushes, I'm still not sold exactly on these. I think they do buff great. I do like them more for my cream contouring, but I don't know about... Because, like, I feel like that should have been... Like, you shouldn't see red. And with my other buffing brushes, you don't. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, because I do still see a little bit, and I don't like that, I'm going to take a little more of the Pro Glow. And I'm going to dab that. I want to build on top of my cheeks. And it's because I'm red. It's because I'm freaking sunburned. So then I'm going to take the Beauty Blender. Now, you're not rubbing, you're patting. And anyways, I was going to do this anyway, but since I'm going to build, I'm just going to take that Beauty Blender now and tap over everywhere that I blended, especially underneath that eye area, guys. And over at your chin. It already honestly feels cooler because of the dampness. Makes me happy. Okay. I've already kind of set my eyes, put a little mascara on because I didn't want to look like death. Alrighty, so I've done that. Next is contouring. I'm really excited. So this is my cream contouring. I actually decided to try, I was a little nervous, but I've been really trying a lot of the Wet n Wild stuff. One, because it's so freaking affordable. Like, I can't even say it's affordable. Like, people have this everywhere. I mean, the bad thing about here in Texas, once you find something you like in Wet n Wild, it's hard to find it because it's like a secret. It just gets out of there. So I am trying their Wet n Wild dual-ended contour stick. I have tried the NYX one. I've tried higher end ones. I seem to like the stick more, but I if you want to, they make actual cream contours, and one of my favorites is the Makeup Revolution. It's their more expensive one. It's $12. So you can see all the shades there. I'm going to go ahead and use the stick today, so you can... This was $3. This was $15. If you are still not feeling it, all you have to do is whatever concealer that you have that you're using, just get a darker color one. So like a lot of times I use the LA Pro concealer. These are $5 online. These are, I think, probably one of the best drugstore concealers out there. They're really creamy. And then I just got a darker Master Conceal. It's just easy as that. It's whatever's going to work. But I wanted to show you guys this. So one end is the actual highlighting, which I've used it. I don't love the actual highlighting part of it, so I'll still use my concealer and the actual contour stick. I got the shade light to medium. And let's do this. So I am going to take the LA Pro, the Pro Concealer today. This is the shade Porcelain. When you're doing this, you do want a lighter shade. It's just a little top that comes out, like you squeeze it. So a little does go a long way. So I'm going to take that up into the corner of my eye, and I make like a triangle. So everything when you're highlighting is you're wanting to get that lighter look. Not like, whoa, there's white all over your face, but you're trying to, you know, think of your face as a heart. So all around here is going to be the darker, and everything in here is going to be lighter. A lot of people do just this little swipe underneath here. You want it to really open up your face. You're doing that, you're just going to see these white raccoon eyes. So I also do my forehead. I make like a little plant. I go down, strip of my nose, my cavern, and right there. I'm almost out. I reordered on Amazon last night. I got 3 of these bad boys for $8. I'm pretty excited. I am going to go ahead and take the Magic Lumi L'Oreal Paris. It is the concealer corrector, but it is pretty much the Magic Lumi Illumination and a concealer. And I'm just going to go over this just a little bit, just to add just a little bit more. Hey, I'm illuminating. Okay, so it was just a little bit, guys. Don't worry. So I'm going to go ahead and take the contour stick. And now we're going to contour the shades that I want to be a little bit darker. So a lot of times I go from the hairline down. And then I take this and I start dotting it around the top of my forehead. This is going to minimize my big forehead and give us that shadow illusion. Right underneath the bottom of the lip will make it start looking bigger. Since I barely have lips, see, you can already see the, you can't. And then to help out the double chin there. And then we're going to do a little nose contour. Nose. Side of the ridge. I actually really like my nose, so I don't do this a ton of times, but when I do, Lord help me. Okay, you kind of have that line now of the highlighting part and the contouring part. One thing that I will do just a little bit quickly is, actually I'm going to take, I'll show you kind of the difference. I'm going to take the highlighting stick part, and I'm really going to show that contour. So I'm going to put that below. Okay, on the nose. It's wider. I think that's why I don't like it. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do first is do the actual highlighting, because it's going to be more, you're pouncing that into the skin with your Beauty Blender, and then you're going to set it with your powder. So I always do your highlighting first. So make sure this is a Real Techniques Beauty Blender. You can buy any beauty blender you like. I like it because it's slanted and it really gets underneath my eye. And I just love it. And it's $5 at Walmart. Don't get me wrong, Real Beauty Blenders are great, but it's hard to spend $20 on a sponge. I'll do it like in my home, in my kitchen, but that's about it. Okay, so then come up here on the forehead. And when we bake, we'll do a couple other things to get that on the Cupid's bow. So what I'm going to do next is bake. So baking is pretty much you're taking a translucent powder, and see, like this highlighting stick is legit. I don't like it. I like the brown color. This one just, it's, actually I'm going to go ahead and use, I'm going to blend it in. It's just, it's really thick. So I suggest, like you do with me, use your concealer still for your highlighting and leave the other part of that stick alone. Because child is like, you know what? I'm white on rice. I am sticking to your face. Okay. So we put that in. So now we're going to bake. Like I said, it's a translucent powder you're putting on top with still your damp beauty blender. And it's taking the heat of your face with the powder and it's bringing that light up and keeping what we put on. It will help with creasing. Girls, the drag queens did this forever, so it's got to be something right. I mean, those queens, they work. Okay, I use the Benue Luxury Powder Banana. I believe the yellowish correcting tone in it really helps. This is what Kim K uses. I got on the board. This is my splurge. It's 20 bucks on Amazon. You get 1.5 ounces. Or my goodie but an oldie is Air Sponge. You can find this at Walmart or Walgreens. This is what every drag queen uses. This thing bakes. And obviously you get way more. But I'm going to go ahead. I've been obsessed with this. So we're going to do it. So I'm just going to take a generous amount because we're going to bake. Like it's $19.99. Ooh, it was like a smoke effect. So you're just taking that damp beauty blender and we're going to start setting the face. You're really going to make sure you get underneath that eye. Really pat that in there. If you don't have anything else, get baby powder. Same thing. I have ordered on e.l.f.'s website the e.l.f. yellow correcting translucent powder. Everyone says it's a dupe for this Benue. Nui. I don't know how to say it. I'm sorry. But we'll see. So I'm going to do that. Pretty much wherever we highlighted, we are going to bake. And then wipe that down here. And I don't know why, but I thought using a damp sponge was death, and I don't know, it works. I saw it and I was like, you guys are crazy. Nope, it works. You're going to want to keep that on your skin for about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how harsh you want to be. Okay, so while we're baking, we're going to buff in the rest of our things and do our brows. To buff out, I use this small face brush of the Kate Beauty Tools to do more of my color correcting. They have the next, or I guess the fourth smallest one down is this size. It's not bad, but now we're gonna buff the actual cream of our contour color. So you're just gonna take that, and I do circular motions. You can use your beauty. I hate this. You can use your sponge as well. I just use this because I've been really liking how they blend. Really make sure that you blend it in because you don't want to look like you're just this brown. Blech. Honestly, just knowing that how good this blends in the cream for me is a $15 well spent. So it's giving us that shadow. I am to do my nose. I'll use the smaller one, but make sure you're getting underneath. This is to help with double chins. Really buffing that into the skin. And you can already see there's that shadow look. This is just buffing that into the skin. If you don't have one of these or a beauty sponge, just take, you can do the Real Techniques. This is pretty much their Expert's Face Brush, and you can rub that in your skin as well. It is hot in here. Ugh. Okay, so we have pretty much blended that in. I'm really happy the way it looks. I'm feeling like it's coming together. So a lot of you guys know I don't use pomade to do my eyebrows. I feel like I look fake, but some women look absolutely gorgeous. So I do just a powder and a wax. I have a prominent area with my brows, but other than that, I feel like my brows are still pretty good and I don't want to add more to my routine. So I usually try all kinds of brow powders. I heard some really good things about the NYC eyebrow kit. This is the Browser Brush On Brow Kit. This was $4.95 at Walmart. This is the color 876 in brunette. So it comes with a little bitty brush. I don't love the brush. I have a brush that I set out just for this. Oh, there it is. So I use my MAC Angler brush. I have like 4 of these because every time I buy a holiday kit, one of these bad boy comes in here. So you can do one of 2 things. You can dip your brush into the wax and into the powder and mix it together and use it. You can do the powder and then lay over the wax. I kind of just dip a little bit in the wax and a little bit in the powder. So this is my bad boy, and I'm just gonna start filling that in. I really think this powder was really on point. Obviously, Anastasia Beverly Hills is the go-to brow game. Benefit's really getting up there. I'm just never really going to do pomade. Sometimes I do pencils. I just look really fake, and all I can see is fakeness on me. On other people, you look freaking stunning. I just want the more natural brow. And while I still have them, because bushy brows are in, I'm gonna keep them that way, guys. So I'm sorry, don't hate me. This one, I'm just pretty much matching up. I'm just taking that brush, short brushes, and bringing that down. It does not take a lot. This powder is actually pretty dope. I'm gonna take a little bit of the wax now, and I'm just gonna set it. I will say this actually works really well. I went swimming and they didn't come on. They didn't come off. I was like, dang, thank you, NYX. $3.95. Yes. Okay. So brows are done. What I will do real quick is while you're waiting for your highlight to bake, I think the best thing to do is actually, you have your set line. So let's do our blush. I'm going to go ahead and do just this Too Faced Love Flush, Justify My Love. It's a little trial set that I have, but they actually have it in store still. So I'm going to take my blush brush, Real Techniques, and put those on the apples of my cheeks. So you see your contour, you see your highlight of your bake, you're going right in the middle. This is very pigmented. I barely touched it. It's like, bam. Turn that down just a little bit. Pigment. Okay. Right now I am going over with the Wet n Wild Contouring Palette. And I'm going to take a big fluffy brush. And I'm just going to outline a little bit more. I kind of do this to set it, if that even makes sense. And it gives it just a little bit more, which I love. And all you guys know, I have my nose and my lip. Don't worry, I'm almost there. I do it last. Just priorities, what I do. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take a Becca Glow Shimmering. It's pretty much, it's Spotlight. It's a cream. And I'm going to put it on my cheeks, and then I'm going to put a powder highlighter over it to make it more dewy. So we're just going to pop that there. Right here. And turn that on my nose. Okay. While that sets for just a second, I'm going to go ahead and take the little bitty brush, and we're going to blend out that bottom lip, give us that fuller lip, and the sides of my nose. Do a little nose contour. My mom and dad blessed me with a good nose. Thank you, Mom and Dad. I don't got a lot, but I got a nose. That's what I do. Okay, so it gives us that shadow look. Then I'm going to take the smaller brush here, and I'm just going to buff that into the skin. I'm doing a patting motion. A patty cake. Up. These brushes, literally, it says it can use for CC creams, liquid, powder, whatever you want. So, and I've used them for powder too. They still work. 15 bucks. Okay, so I'm going to take the NYX Illuminator. It's their highlighting. It's called Narcissistic, which is sad. Don't feel like it today, but we're going to do it. So I'm going to get my highlighting brush. It's the Real Techniques one. It's a peachy highlight. And we're just gonna go over top of that, and it kind of really gives us that glow that I'm wanting. And you're going over it wherever. I forgot about that. Okay. All right. Alrighty. So what I'm gonna do now is my baking's done. You're just gonna take any big fluffy brush and you're gonna wipe it off. It'll give us that brighten up look. Alrighty. Okay. Woo! I love after baking's done. Okay. Carve out that. Alright, so this is my go-to foundation look. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to use my NYX setting spray, either the dewy finish or the matte. I'm going to go more matte today. It's really hot out and I just already feel like I'm sweating. So we're going to spray that. Really want to set this. I'm like, and because it's just me, I had to put a little lip gloss on. This is the NYX Butter Gloss, which I'm obsessed with, in this shade Eclair. It tastes like Eclair. So this is my summer routine. I hope you all like it. I'm hot, but get a closer look so you can really see the contrast. The highlight is on point. Like I said before, I did not do my eyes on the video. I did it off camera. I just did something really simple. This is actually my 5-minute go-to look. This is 2 shadows. And if you guys are interested, I can do that as well. When you're a mom or you're busy with school or anything, you don't got a lot of time. So this is my go-to summer look. I hope it helped you guys out. If you have any questions, leave a comment. I'll comment back. Please like this video, subscribe. And once again, it was such a joy to come back on here. I kind of needed this. Been a rough week, but makeup always makes me feel better. So have a great day. Be blessed. Think positive, be positive, and the day will get better. You guys have a great day. Bye.